A lot of people are putting Poolman on their worst films of 2024, and this is Chris Pine's first directorial debut. Does it deserve to be on that list? Let's find out. Chase Leigh Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Poolman. So what's about? Pretty simple premise. Chris Pine loves LA to a T. He wants it to be the best city ever, even though it's going down the drain. And he's a pool man. But now a girl comes into his life and says, hey, you know what? You keep going to these council meetings, and there's something really happening with a walnut farm, with water, desert, and everything in between. And so did I like this film. It's not horrible, but it was just so been there, done that, where it was kind of offensive to that point where you're like, okay, I understand that you have this star-studded cast. I mean, this cast is stacked. When we look at it, we have Chris Pine, we have Danny DeVito, Annette Bedding, Ray Wise, Chris Chen, Jennifer Jason Leigh. You have Patty Jenkins produced this. Oh, good God. DeWanda Wise and others. Like, it is a lot of people in this film. Ortiz, I think, also John Ortiz or something like that. Anyway, you got a lot of people in this film, so you're expecting something a little bit better. And while there are comedic moments, like I said, I think what was just so offensive about this film that it was just so been there, done that. So talk about the positives. I do think everyone was having a fun time on set, right? I think that people were having fun. They knew what they were doing, and they kind of knew what story they were trying to say. Chris Pine does a good job playing, I'm going to say a doofus, but a meditating guy that, is trying to save LA, which LA ain't worth saving. This is why so many people are leaving New York and California to go to Texas, Idaho, Indiana, New Mexico. And you're like, oh, who's New Mexico? Val Kilmer. Oh, who's Texas? Matthew McConaughey. Oh, Vegas, Marky Mark. Oh, Indiana, David Letterman. Oh, Idaho, Aaron Paul. Like, you can. It's a constant churn of people saying, or Sydney Sweeney, Florida. She got a house in the Key West. You just see these people are Tyler Perry, Georgia. You see where I'm getting at? Where LA ain't worth saving. Gavin Newsom can't save it. No one can save it. No one can save it. Especially when you have George Soros DAs. So there is that. But this story itself tries to do so much, I want to say social justice, but just like things where it's like, oh, we know that person's going to backstab. Oh, we know that person's going to backstab. We know who this character is and who that character is. There might be one interesting aspect at the end where you're like, oh, okay, I didn't see that kind of twist coming of who that character actually was. But that's only one twist in this movie that tries to do multiple twists throughout the story. And also the whole Danny DeVito, sometimes his character got annoying where I was like, okay, where are we trying to go? Where are we trying to go? And the bantering back and forth really didn't feel like it was a lot of writing. It felt like there was a lot of improv in this movie. We're like, okay, let's try this. Okay, now let's try this. Oh, now let's try this. And let's try this as well. So it kind of felt annoying on those levels. And there's this bantering scene with weapons where they're trying to tail someone. And it just dragged to me. It was just like, okay, I understand the comedic element you're trying to do. But you've just seen this so many times in quote-unquote LA noir type of films. Where like, oh, following someone, newspaper. Oh, do this, hide. Oh, that person, get away. Oh, this person. Oh, that person's the bad guy. Let's twist it around because we think that person's the bad guy, but it's actually not that guy. It's this guy right here. Oh, and this person's going to kill this person because of this reason. And you have Chris Pine, who's also just a dimwit in this film, where you're just like, just continue being a pull man because I think that's all you're really good at because just this stereotypical LA thing, I want to say it's comedic, but it's like laughable where it's like people think this is successful is to be one of these people in LA. And then the whole writing to Aaron Brockovich, it was just like, that had a little bit of funness to it, but at the same time, you're just like, what are we trying to do with the script? And then finally, these flashbacks with a tree and a lizard and trying to connect it to what we are doing now and what happened in the past, to me, didn't work at all whatsoever, just because you can have some interesting, like, meditation, marijuana, like, whoa, extreme, bro. It just didn't work for me. But overall, Poolman isn't a worst movie of 2024. No. Is it my bottom 25? Probably not, but we will see on Letterboxd where it goes. But unfortunately, Poolman, to me, isn't the greatest. And hey, Chris Pine even says he's watched it multiple times and he liked what he made. Congratulations. Be happy for your craft. However, I'm just not a California person. Some of the characters got annoying. And it's just a movie, these noir movies that you've seen over and over again. And it's a little disheartening that we couldn't add a little bit more chemicals to this pool. So Poolman will receive a 1.5 out of 5 with Futons, which equals that 30%. Let's see what the critics and user scores gave this one. Critics, 24% with 59 of them. Audience score, 20% with fewer than 50. Critic consensus. First-time director Chris Pine has clearly watched and loved numerous classic LA-based neo-noir comedies. Unfortunately, Poolman suggests he had been better off not trying to add his own entry to the genre. So when I'm looking at like the critics, we have a 1 out of 5, a 1 out of 4. We do have a positive saying it's fun, very much. A couple positives though. But when looking at the actual critics, even though it's giving a 12%. Oh wait, that's with top critics is 12%. All critics is a 32% instead of at 24. So it's about where I'm at, but 24, 20, 30. Chase out here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, no thanks, Bhutontopia. You Blue Futonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great dunk. Watch the state tomorrow, week from a month, and year from ratio. Freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. And yeah, I mean, also, having a pool is so freaking expensive. The maintenance just isn't worth it.